fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights, just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the New York Giants. Two teams that met in Super Bowl 35 down in Tampa. The Ravens and Giants are underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Jackson on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Now it's Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 6 there on the first down play. On second down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Crabtree that time, and it's third down.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here's Jackson to throw, escaping the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on fourth down with Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. It's first and 10 at the 14. They'll run it here. This is Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is third down. Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will. Have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Manning going to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From midfield, here's Manning. Coleman has it here right side. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw is Manning. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Zebra.
Now Manning again. To Barkley on the check down. Oh, some strong running. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Again, it's Manning. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. Manning to throw once more. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
Zebra. Hey, go 26. 27 to Sam. 27 to Sam. Right.
Again, they'll throw with Manning. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The return man, Chris Moore. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
On third down, that's Edwards. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Zebra.
Manning now on first down. And he fins him up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now Manning throwing on second down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And a nice gain at 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Zebra.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Giants are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Jackson on first down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Ty Montgomery as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens are in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And New York set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Right, he'll be dropped at the 30. But a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Manning to throw on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Zebra.
Working from the gun, Manning. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Manning. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Zebra.
Shotgun now for Manning. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. They find some open field here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Manning to throw. The quick slant caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Throwing is Manning.
One thing sure.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are in for 6. Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! 3, 9.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19! Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Let's go!
Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Now it's Jackson. And this is caught off the deflection. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. And New York set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 2nd down, here's Madden. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now, meanwhile... A pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This from 44 yards away. Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Manning to throw on 2nd down. He finds an opening past the 40. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Manning. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now Manning. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now.
One last shot for Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to...
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if that ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it.